Hi students, welcome back to geology. This week we are focused on water. So we've got a few videos to go through here. This first one is talking about why water is essential to all life on Earth, how it shapes Earth, and why you should care. So your pondering question as you go through this video, I want you to think about where most of Earth's usable fresh water will come from. By the end of this, you should be able to answer this question. All right, so water is important because everybody needs it, right? Water is essential to all life on Earth. It's our most valuable resource. In the 21st century, a lot of scientists have said it's basically the gold of our time, right? It's really, really valuable. And unfortunately, there's lots of water wars. I can point you in the direction of some really interesting documentaries about how politicians fight over water. But we'll talk about more scientific facts for the most part in these videos. So water is important because it helps regulate your body temperature. It supports all of the structures within the human body, and 60% of your body is actually water. So it's important to drink your water, obviously. You can survive weeks without food, but only days without water. So if you are stranded somewhere, not having water is way more of a factor in whether you survive than if there's no food. All right, so we are pretty familiar with the fact that water is everywhere on Earth. 70% of Earth's surface is covered in it, and only 30% of Earth's surface is actually land. The problem being that 97.2% of that water is in the ocean. Can we use the ocean water? No. In recent years, which we'll talk about towards the end of this video series, we will talk about how desalination works and how we can use ocean water, but for the most part, it's not usable. We can't go to the ocean and drink out of it directly. We have to treat it before we can drink it. And then 2.15% of the water, fresh water, is locked in glaciers and polar ice. 0.62% is found in groundwater. 0.008% is surface water, which is lakes and rivers. That is a really small amount. And then we have a little bit in the atmosphere as well, which exists as water vapor. So that really small percentage, which is about less than 1%, is used for literally everything. We use that for drinking water. We use it for agriculture. In some instances, it's used for transportation, steam power, and lots of other things. So anything that we need potable, basically non-salted water for is 1% of the water available on Earth. So who uses the most? So there's that breakdown of all the things that we might use it for. With water, ag is using the most. And in the Central Valley of California, we know that all too well. Ag comes first for water rights, and it's really unfortunate. If you own a property and you have a well, and the well dries up, you have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to re-drill the well deeper in order to tap the water. Where maybe there's a farmer next door who is got a much bigger straw, much deeper, and is sucking all of that water out. Okay, so if we were talking about petroleum, for example, this would be flipped, and industry would use the most, agriculture the least, and domestic use is always in between. All right, so like I said, the most is used by agriculture. So here's that just a little bit bigger for you. It shows you the extraction versus consumption, which is a little bit frustrating, right? We definitely, in all categories, are extracting more than we're consuming. That is a problem, and we'll talk about soon with groundwater why that's such a big problem. So a little fun activity for you to do at home is this water science questionnaire. Where do you use most of your water? Okay, where does most of your water lie? So within a home, depending on what's in your house, if you don't have a washer and dryer, those things wouldn't apply. But let's say you take a bath every night. Filling up a bathtub is astronomical amount of water, right? If you take really long showers, like some people do, I'm not mentioning any names, my teen daughter, 45-minute showers uses a lot of water. Okay, so Try this at home. If you want to scan the QR code, it'll take you to that questionnaire and you can figure out where you spend most of your water use. But you're lucky. You live in a modern society where you can turn on the tap and water comes out. And it's water that you can drink. So a lot of people don't like drinking some of the water in Fresno in particular because it tastes kind of like chlorine because it's treated, but it's safe to drink. There are many countries around the world that do not have safe potable water available to them, even if they have a faucet. Some of them have to go miles to fetch water and carry it back to their homes. Okay, so water is essential to all life, and some cultures have to go get their water. They don't just turn on the tap and it runs out. And consumption is drying up our freshwater systems and is now drying up a lot of our groundwater. We'll get into groundwater in a few videos, but we're going to look at the Aral Sea in Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. These time lapses are from 1977 to 2013, and you can see just how much water has been removed from this inland sea. It's a lot. So what's being left behind are salt deposits. So consumption is a problem, in and itself. But as we remove fresh water, the salt that is in the fresh water is left behind in higher and higher concentrations. And that's what that white stuff is in the last three photos, 2006, 2009, 2013, on the bottom there. That is salt depositing on the ground, which once water is reintroduced, there's now more salt in that water than was originally before we overconsumed. So this whole series is going to talk about the water cycle in different stages. So this first one is just, why is water important? Then we're going to move on to surface water, how that works. Then we'll go into runoff and infiltration, how that ends up into the groundwater, and how groundwater systems work. Okay, so you've probably seen the water cycle before in a science class in high school or maybe middle school. But really, water is just being recycled. And unfortunately, sometimes water gets stuck in locations where we can't use it, like the ocean or the atmosphere or glaciers. But trying to get water back into the ground is one of the best ways for us to make sure that we have enough water. All right, so in summary for this video, water is essential to all life on Earth, but unfortunately only 1% of Earth's water is usable out of that 70% surface. Surface water is water that flows on the surface, and we're going to talk about that in more depth next. And your question for your notes to answer is, if Earth has so much water, why can fresh water still be considered a limited resource? I'll see you guys in the next video.